good YouTube. Fishing another little bridge today on a creek that I don't fish a lot during the warmer months, mostly during the fall and winter, because the water's obviously down and more fish are, well, more or less trapped in this spot. But it's kind of sort of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, plenty of people know about it, but it's kind of a swampland too. There's a lot of, well, this kind of stuff right here, and there's been some good fish caught out of here. Playing around with another rod today that I just picked off of everybody's favorite cheap shopping website, and so far I like it pretty well. The downside is the tip to it is extremely noodly. Like, this thing is definitely a true ultralight rod. I've seen this on old Richard Jean's Fishing Machines page, or well, channel here recently, and it's like, you know what, that looks like a pretty good rod, really soft tip, so I'm gonna give it a shot. So anyway, enough yapping, let's get down here, see if we can catch us fish, because it's getting a little bit late and we don't have a ton of time to fish. Hey, we got something. We had something. Well, tells me that there are fish right here. See if we can get that one to come back out. Did we get one hooked finally? We did. Monster gill. This is probably gonna be the only fish I actually try to claim from this spot right here, because I don't have a lot of casting room, and ow, it's awful soft and muddy right here. So we're gonna walk down to the bridge here and see if we can catch something a little bit nicer down there, because I'm slowly sinking up to my eyeballs on this. Not really, but I am pretty much short enough. Now, I'm not out to catch big fish, numbers of fish or anything, just kind of getting the feel of this rod. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of it, because just no. But it is a 1.8 meter rod, which is, comes to about 5'9", 6 foot, something along those lines. Lure weight 0.5 to 8 grams, which is, if my math is mathing, and it probably ain't, comes to about 32nd of an ounce or something. Oh, we got something. Oh. Seriously. We had something decent right here in front of us. Fish? Yes. Feels pretty good too. Yeah, it does feel pretty good. And it come off. What the friggin' deal? I bet I know what that was. I have a very good idea of what that was. Well, this spot didn't pan out worth crap. When we caught the one fish, hooked into two other ones that were pretty good size, never did see those, and we've been snagging a lot. Instead of scrapping this footage, I'm going to try and just put it to use and find somewhere tomorrow, and hopefully next time you see me, we'll be catching some fish. Alright, well, it is the next day, and we're up here on the back side of one of the dams up here in the mountains. And I figured, you know what, I got some worms, and there's usually some pretty good perch up here. Well, pretty good, just about any kind of panfish. So if you're going to come up here and just mess around for an hour or two and hopefully catch some decent fish, because I'm also kind of sort of due a catch and cook. So up here behind the dam, well, so let's try and bust some fish. Well, that was quick. That was very quick. I hadn't even got my camera set up on my chest mount yet. Big old bull red breast sunfish. Well, let's fix my worm and do it again. That was just a couple of seconds of my line being out there. What I was actually doing is trying to set up my cell phone holder as like a little rod holder type thing on the little picnic table here. And one came along and godified it. I ain't sure, but I think something's already pecking on it. Yep. Another one. And that's what we came up here for. Yeller perch. You're just a little bit small though. We're going to have to rebait after that one. Well, definitely turned into a better little afternoon than it was yesterday. But before I came up here, I did go ahead and pull all that line that was on this reel off and put some fresh 4-pound mono on there. That way it casts a little bit better. But the rig we're using today is just a simple split shot with a hook underneath it kind of rig. Another one. This one feels nicer. And he's stuck under on a stump down there. There we go, he's loose. He is loose. Jeez. They must be spawning or something. I don't know. We did have a full moon last night, but look at that red breast. All those colors that it's got on it. Freaking awesome. I'll just screenshot my other one. Alright, well, it's been all of 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and not even a bite. What's the deal here? Got it. Not a big one by any stretch, but it is a fish. Actually, you're a little bit nicer. You, my friend, are a keeper size, and you're also deformed. You know what? I'm gonna just let you slide. You got a hunchback and a screwed up tail. Yeah, I'm gonna let you slide. This thing right here, my camera mount or tripod, is actually turned out to be pretty freaking handy for this. Got it. Exactly what I thought would be biting real good up here today. Yeller perch. You, my friend, are big enough to keep. Sit you under my backpack for the time being, because I didn't bring my bucket down here with me. It's also full of a bunch of crap, so yeah, that's why. Another one. This one feels good. Of course, anything on this noodle of a rod feels good. What do I have? I have a small little catfish, I think. and he gutted it. Yeah, he gutted it. I'm gonna have to cut that one. That one is actually almost perfect size for filleting, but I don't know that I'm gonna bother with that one. Or am I? And we'll let you go. Catfish with these little dots on them like that are the real juvenile ones. Once they start losing those dots, that's when they are starting to mature. I'm probably gonna kick myself for letting that one go, because that was just about perfect eater size. But it's whatever. Now that I think about it, that's one of the first catfish that I've caught this year. I'm already starting to kick myself a little bit for letting that channel cat go. And one thing that I do really like about this rod being such a light tipped rod is the fish don't feel the resistance from the rod all that much, like at all hardly. Oh, it's still on. Am I stuck? Nope. It came loose. It's just another toad of a red breast sunfish. It's just a magnum one. To catch more of these just monster monster red breasts. I'm definitely surprised. I really don't want to keep too many fish because I really don't want to do that like a big fry or anything like that. But, you know, just a couple for the sake of the video. Well, I am very thoroughly surprised with this little stop up here. The last few times I've tried to come up here and fish this for perch or bluegill or whatever, the bite hasn't been all that good. I get like one or two and then say screw it and go home. But this has been a pretty good bite. Like, I don't know if they're spawning or what the deal is, but those red breasts are so full of color. And yeah, they're definitely fun on this Temu rod that I can't pronounce the name of. It's something like spicy sausage, or I don't know, I can't speak Ugandan. But anyway, we'll get baited up and see if we catch a couple more of them. They're not feeling that rod or resistance from the rod when they start to pull off with your bait or whatever. Like the tip section of this rod, like the last probably two sections or two eyelets of it, it's kind of like a hinge tip. And if you've ever heard of a hinge tip, it's on a lot of the really high-end bass rods where that last couple of inches of the rod tip is just super noodly for, you know, watching for deflection and watching for bites that are real finicky. All right, now it's been almost 2 minutes. Ain't even got a bite yet. What's the deal? There we go. That's what I'm talking about. It's another yellow perch. And that one just about got her down. You're just a little bit smaller than what I want to keep, so we'll let you slide. Now that I know that they're biting up here, I may come back tomorrow and put more intention on these fish. Oh, shoot. I was actually reeling in to cast back out. And this this perch picked it up. Ow, I hooked myself. You are a little bit small, so we're gonna let you go back. Well, I have about decided that if we can get one or two more tail here, all discombobulatified. If we can get unhung from that tree, and it doesn't appear that we will be, well, something came loose. And I didn't get my sinker back. Oh well. Got my worm and hook back, that's all that matters. But if we can catch one or two more perch, you know, about that size that we kept, we'll be set. Are we getting a bite? Yes. Are we getting a fish? I don't know. No, we got that one. That one feels pretty good too. They wasn't messing too much with the piece of worm that I had on there, so I took another piece that I had and put it on there, and that is another good. That is a freaking huge yellow perch. I'm gonna have to measure that. I hope I've got my measuring tape with me, because this could very well be a tarp eligible yellow perch. Which reminds me, I have to send in another fish too. Well, he swallowed it. Straighten out the tail. Nope. That one is just shy of being tarp eligible. It's 10.5 inches. Has to be 11 in Tennessee to be tarp eligible, but that one got it down the gullet. So, you know what? We're not gonna let you go, because I need another fish for this little catch and cook deal. Like, you're more than likely gonna eat it because of that hook being in your gullet anyway. Oh, wasn't even paying attention and got smacked. What you is, what you is. You are another little red breast, itty bitty one. You get a free pass because you're too small to bother with. And I'll just screenshot one of my other ones. Well, so far this little Temu ultralight rod has been freaking awesome. The guides could stand to be just a little bit smaller. I mean, they're small enough, but that weepy little hinge tip that it has make even the smaller fish feel good. And even, you know, like a small eater size channel like we got, or these perch even, feel pretty dang good on the rod. And I know there's gonna be somebody and moaning because I bought something from Temu. But here's the thing, look at the country of origin label on everything you own and then get back to me. Did I get it? I think so. This one, you're a pretty small perch, so I believe we're gonna let you go too. About time to re-up our worm. Alright, I'm gonna let that sit while I'm filleting these two perch. Get a handy dandy Berkeley fillet knife that I've never sharpened, I don't think. But the way I fillet fish, if I'm using just the manual way, is make that cut right behind the head, and then I just work the blade down the spine, going over the ribs. That way I don't have to deal with cutting the ribs out. And yes, I do use a glove or a rag, something like that, to keep from slipping and removing appendages over the ribs. That way I don't have to deal with them. And you've got a pretty dang clean fillet there. All right, got our couple little perch fillets sitting in there, and we're going to take the Louisiana Crystal hot sauce. Anytime you use your hot sauce, you should shake it up, get all that stuff mixed back together, because a lot of times the heavier ingredients in it will settle to the bottom and you won't get nearly as much flavor. It's also fairly thin, so it's not as good of a binder, but it makes for a good marinade. So anyway, it doesn't look like anything's going to bite for, anytime soon, because it's been about 30 minutes and nothing's hit. So I'm going to get all my crap cleaned up here, and we'll see you here in just a little bit. Probably tomorrow, because I'm going to let this stuff marinate overnight. That way it can get good and hot saucy. All right, well, here it is the next day, and this little bit of perch fillets we had from yesterday are been marinating for almost 24 hours. So what we're going to do is, since I've got, well, four different fillets, we're going to do 2 of them in some seasoned flour, stuff that I've used before, and some cornmeal, and see how that turns out, because I've had this bag for who knows how long and hasn't been used. So let's get all this stuff set up and get to cooking. All right, the seasoned flour we're going to use is this Kentucky Colonel stuff. You can get it at Dollar General and just about anywhere. Alright, got our cornmeal and perch, and then our Southern Colonel stuff. This kind of stuff comes out more like a dough because it's so fine. Alright, cornmeal going in first. Oh wow, that smells good. It smells like popcorn. More or less, that's pretty much it. It smells so freaking good. Almost like, well, definitely cornbread, but almost like a buttery popcorn kind of smell. That should, I don't know why I was using my pliers. I've got some tongs. Gotta make sure they work. Alright, next up going in is the perch and Kentucky Colonel batter. I seriously should have let those, or pat those dry, instead of just putting them in something like that. That way that batter would have, got into the crevices a little bit better. Well, I can turn that heat down just a hair. Alright, we're going to give them a couple more seconds and they should be just about done, because that oil heats up pretty dang quick. As little bit of room as that flame has to hit, and since that pan or that pot doesn't have a huge radius for the heat to dissipate into, this stuff cooks up pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and kill the heat. And I believe that's going to be it. We'll let those cool off for a couple of minutes and do a taste test, see which one turns out better. If you're wondering where I got the little burner thing from, this thing just came off of Amazon. It was dirt cheap, and the fuel, you get that just about anywhere it sells isobutane or propane or whatever. And then the little pot and pan kit, just a little thing from Walmart, and all this other stuff, the oil, breading, and whatnot. You can get that just about any grocery store. All right, I think these have cooled down enough to where we can try them out. Cornmeal, perch, Louisiana crystal. That one definitely didn't have as much of that hot sauce flavor. There was a little bit of that tang there. Definitely had a drier kind of flavor, I guess because of the cornmeal. Definitely a lot crunchier, which I do like. I don't know, I like the cornmeal, but I don't know exactly how I feel about it. I'll have to try it with a couple of different things over time, but Southern Kernel, Louisiana Crystal, yellow perch. Definitely more hot sauce flavor there, and not as crunchy as the cornmeal. I honestly like the Southern Kernel as a breading better because it's smoother. It still has a good bit of crunch, and it being just a seasoned flour, it just has a really good flavor in its own. So if you've never tried Southern Kernel, you need to. There's a bunch of y'all recommended it. I knew we had it around, I just didn't realize what it was at first, but I'm glad I've got a bag of it to use. It's probably my favorite fish and chicken breading. So anyway, Louisiana Crystal hot sauce, use that as a marinade. If you want something that's going to act as a binder or a better binder, you want to use something a little bit thicker, like a salsa verde, like something that's thicker, or a ketchup or barbecue sauce, mustard, your higher viscosity stuff. That's going to let that breading adhere and seasoning adhere a lot better than this stuff would. But it works perfectly fine. If you've got a different hot sauce that you like, drop it in the comments. I'm very open to the hot sauce thing. I'd like me some hot sauce. I need to do some more of these catch and cooks. They're fun, and it's more or less free food unless you count in the gas driving to the spots and your fishing rods and all that stuff. But it's free, beats going to the store, and we all know grocery stores are not cheap anymore. So anyway, again, hope you like the video. Check out all the links in the description, including the 2 top links. Those are my affiliate links with Mule Fishing Supply Company and Creek Life Lure Company. Anytime you buy something through those links, I get a little bit of a kickback. And if you buy something on Creek Life Lure Company using code CREEK10, I also get a little bit of a kickback from the use of my discount code, and you save a little bit of money on your purchase. So again, check out all the links in the description.